Hi people, welcome back to a new episode. Tonight we are looking at Hcmc once more. Hcmc from 9:30 today up until right now is actually down by around 10%. Realistically, from around 11 o'clock we can see a lot of volatility, but we have been trading quite stably in the range between 0.0016 and 17. So yeah, shaking all over the place for the majority of the day, but we are finishing on that 0.017 point it does look like, so not too bad. I mean, looking forwards into the future, we still do have some good things potentially going for Hcmc, but actually this does come after a very interesting week. So initially we were down on the Thursday of last week, and of course this was the past 5 days, so we were down initially. Going into Friday we were still in the red, but from the late part on the Friday, even leading into the Monday, we can see now we are still up by around 32%. I know a lot of people did use this opportunity last week to buy the dip. I personally did. I have spoke about this before, and I used it as an opportunity to basically get my average cost down per share. I think it was a pretty decent thing to do because now the share price has improved ever so slightly. Now what may be concerning to a lot of people is since this point here at around 9:30 on the 9th, up until now we are down by around 8%. That might not sound by a lot, but of course people who own Hcmc are more likely to have a larger amount of shares, and of course that could sway their position by quite a lot. The question for tonight's episode though is, what will we expect to be seeing for Hcmc going forwards? Is there some big potential for the stock still, or is it dead? Well, of course in tonight's one I'm giving all of my personal opinions, as I do every single day. If you do want to hear daily updates on Hcmc, make sure to smash that subscribe button because like I said, they are on this channel. And of course, now that I have mentioned that, if you do like the videos and if you want to support us, you can do that by becoming a channel member. You can do that by pressing the join button, which is right next to the subscribe button. It would be massively appreciated. Now that I have said that though, let us jump into this video, first looking at how Hcmc has moved throughout the day. Right, so yeah, the past week, like I said, was pretty flat for Hcmc. We are still in the red from that high point we can see, which isn't too bad realistically because yes, a lot of hype came into this one. Then we saw a swift exit of that, hype, as a lot of people were expecting this stock to rocket on the 26th, and we were down leading up until this point here on the 5th of March. Now, like I said, when it hit these lows of 0.009 or even 0.0009 or even 0.001, I think a lot of people use this as an opportunity to buy the dip, thinking that the price couldn't go much lower. Evidently, this was what happened because the share price subsequently picked itself back up, which is good to see, and we have been up ever since. Now, realistically, today hasn't really brought too much action we can see. If anything, we are ever so slightly in the red, which is not good, but we are still finishing off around this, like I said, 1.7 mark, which is pretty decent as well, because now, yes, it is still a decrease, but to see it down by such a small amount, in my opinion, is not the worst thing in the world. Now, we do have a lot still going for Hcmc into the next few weeks. Of course, a lot of people are waiting on some good news, and I have more news to bring you in this episode. So this information is coming from Hcmc if you are interested. It basically talks about a lot of the things involving this lawsuit, of course, between Hcmc and Philip Morris. So basically, we have a lot of information from down here. We can see that yesterday, on the Thursday, we had this information about a joint motion for an extension of time. Now, this is interesting in my opinion when it comes to a lawsuit, because it basically means that the companies could potentially, and of course this is not guaranteed, it is just my opinion, and by no means am I a law expert, so please remember that, but it could potentially mean that the companies are working with each other, obviously potentially out of court, to settle something, without the legal system potentially involved in the court system. So this is interesting in my opinion. Like I said, if we can get something sorted, if they can settle this in some way, fantastic, it would be amazing. Obviously we are looking for that payout in Hcmc's favour. And the signing of this one by both teams from Philip Morris and of course Hcmc is pretty decent. Like I said, it does kind of imply to me at least that they could definitely be working on something together because they are trying to extend the amount of time, so they potentially have more time to sort something out. I hope that makes sense to you guys. So I think that is quite an interesting break in the story. Like I said, if you do want to find out any of this information, it is on this website called Hcmc. So I found that quite interesting. I thought I would bring that to your attention because it is quite an interesting thing to look at, and it is just speculation at the moment what this could mean, but I personally do believe it could be another great thing going forwards for the stock. So rightly so, we just don't know where this one is going at the moment, and subsequently I think that is why we have seen the share price be quite flat today, if not into the red. I think a lot of people were a bit impatient when it came to Hcmc. I have spoken about this in many a video before, and I am going to talk about it again because I think it is something that we all need to remember. Hcmc absolutely could explode. I'm not even going to try and put a price target on it because it is quite hard. We just don't know where things are going with this information at the moment. But don't get me wrong, this one does have a lot of catalysts going for it, both long and short term. I think this stock could be a decent growth stock anyway, and of course a lot of people are still waiting for the result of this lawsuit, whether it be in court or out of court. A lot of people are waiting to see what happens with this. Rightly so, and of course if it does go through the court system, it could take quite a lot of time, but still, this one does have a lot of potential going forwards, both into the next few weeks and the next few months. But ultimately, what we need to remember is, even if Hcmc is going to pop up in price, maybe to 1 cent, let's just go all the way out there and, you know, say theoretically it was to pop to $1, it wouldn't happen overnight. It would take time, and I think that is what people need to remember. So whatever price target you have for Hcmc, all I'm trying to say, guys, is obviously you do need to be a bit patient, because right now a lot of stuff is still up in the air. We're just not 100% where this one is going at the moment. I personally am still holding my shares. I've spoken about this before, but if you didn't catch it in a previous episode, I personally hold about 800,000 shares of Hcmc, and I am currently down on my position, of course, as a lot of people are. And again, I am holding this one for the long term. I'm looking to hold it for the next year, just to see where it's going. Of course, that position right now, I do believe, has cost me around £900. Of course, that is in Great Britain. It is rather expensive, and I do know that it is a gamble. I think you guys do need to be aware of this one as well. It's not guaranteed to explode in price. And of course, when you are investing in this stock, please remember to only risk what you are willing to lose. But yeah, I am still holding for the next year. And of course, if it was to explode in price in the next few months, obviously I would sell, you know, for a decent profit if possible, but at the moment I am still optimistic and holding this one for the next year. But if you want to hear all of my opinions on Hcmc going forwards into the future, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Looking into tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if this one was to remain relatively flat, hopefully trading in a similar way to today, in this range where it's just quite volatile but in a decent price range. Again, if we could see a bump up in price by a small amount, hopefully breaking past the 1.8 range, and of course that is the 0.0018 range, that would be fantastic to see as well. And again, if we just can start to slowly but surely build action around this share price, we will be in a fantastic position, in my opinion. I would like to see this one slowly build up. I think there is a lot on the table for this one. It absolutely could explode, and personally I don't think it is the worst position to buy at the moment. But yeah, I think the next few weeks and months are going to be quite crucial for this stock. I think it definitely could make or break it in the short term, absolutely. So please do consider that one. But if you did enjoy this video, guys, do make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because like I said, we will be back tomorrow talking about Hcmc, giving you all the latest information and all of my opinions on what we have seen in the markets. So thank you, I will see you then, goodbye.